Well, it's the 10th of May 2022. You're welcome to the news beat here on Metro TV. We're live from the Akua Boahema studio at North Ridge. Follow us on social media. Facebook is Metro TV Ghana. Instagram and Twitter is Metro TV GH. Let's take a look at headlines of stories coming up. Ghanaians outraged over proposed increase in water and electricity tariffs, but a Deputy Minister for Energy, Andrew Ejapamesa, calls for calm as the proposals are yet to be considered. Now, how much did you pay as transport fare today? We will bring you some reactions on the street. Meanwhile, the commercial transport operators are meeting to discuss the way forward. On the international front, a curfew is in force across Sri Lanka after mobs burned down homes belonging to the ruling Rajapaksa family amid mounting anger at the economic crisis. Now, you're welcome back. In our first story, the Electricity Company of Ghana and the Ghana Water Company Limited have proposed a 148% and 334% increase in electricity and water tariffs, respectively. Now, the proposal from the utility providers was submitted to the Public Utility Regulatory Commission.
A proposal from the power distributor submitted to the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission wants the adjustment to cover the period 2019 and 2022, while the Ghana Water Company Limited in its proposal said over the years the approved tariffs have not been full cost reflective. The Electricity Company of Ghana has subsequently proposed an average increase of 7.6% in tariff over the next 4 years to cover distribution service charges. If government fails to subsidize electricity tariff, consumers will pay for an astronomical increment in light bills from August 2022, as the Electricity Company of Ghana demands 148% increase in tariff. Electricity Company of Ghana attributed the high increase in the distribution service charges to the gap that has developed over the years between the actual cost recovery tariff and the PURC approved tariffs, as well as the cost of completed projects. The Ghana Water Company Limited, on the other hand, says it's unable to raise enough revenue to finance the much-needed capital investment projects with a consequent unsatisfactory level of service.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Minister for Energy, Andrew Ejapamesa, has called for a cool head to prevail in the wake of proposals made by the ECG and the Ghana Water Company to increase tariffs by more than 100%.
Right, for people to suggest that there's been electricity tariff increase by 148%. What it is that at every point, periodically, we do a major tariff adjustment, which is under the aegis of the PURC. And so what the utility companies do is to submit their proposals, okay, if you like, their wish list, that they, based on an assessment of their operational expenditures, then suggest a certain figure that the PURC should approve for them. That is only the beginning of the process, because the PURC will then do some stakeholder consultation. They will do an analysis of the figures, the loss reduction mechanism strategies that they put in place to ensure that whatever increase that they get will not ultimately lead to they being unable to operate, okay, before an approval is made. So what it is that is in the public domain now is what the ECG, and to a large extent I hear Ghana Water have proposed. But proposal is not approval. PURC will have to do the real work. And if you look at the trend in the past where the utilities submit their proposal, it's always pegged at a relatively higher percentage increase request. But ultimately, when a decision is taken, those figures actually come down. Indeed, you can easily cite the 2018-2019 period where, in fact, tariffs were actually reduced. Non-residential tariffs by 30% and residential tariffs by about 12 or so percent reduction. In 2019, then it went up by some 11% and subsequently in July and 5.6% I believe in October. So cumulatively, there was a 17% increase in 2019. Okay, and so if you hear 148 today, that really hasn't been subjected to the real analysis that then determines how much PURC will approve. So I guess that we should be rest assured that yes, proposal they are entitled to submit, but that does not under any circumstances mean that government has approved or the PURC has approved these tariffs to be applied to the end users. No.
So the Deputy Minister spoke on Metro TV earlier today. Now, former Deputy Minister of Communication, Felix Kwakye Ofosu, says government increment in tariffs is an addition to the already excruciating pain of citizens. He added that the Nana Addo-led administration has added nothing meaningful to the country except plunging into debt. He spoke on Good Morning Ghana today.
Let's talk about a 148% increase in tariffs, electricity tariffs, and 334% increase in water tariffs. Would be devastating. I'm not sure that the people of Ghana can handle it anymore. Because we cannot add this to the melee of hardships that we are going through at the moment. I know that it is a tactic for the utilities to sometimes overstate what they need. But I have seen the document that was sent to PURC, in which the utilities make the argument that this is the money they need to operate at optimal level. So if they don't get it, it means that government has to subvent them or government has to subsidize their operations in order for them to be able to break even. Already, I have seen snippets of the 2020 audited financial statement of ECG and the unaudited 2021 financial report. If you put those 2 years together, they are talking of subsidies of over 11 billion Ghana cedis that government either has to pay or has paid to them because they are making about 30% commercial losses. So those entities are not being run properly. And the main reason is that government is not making up for its subsidy obligations. Because if ECG cannot collect full tariffs, government must make up for the shortfall with subsidies.
Now let's go into the video wall to see how the proposed 148 ECG tariffs will affect consumers. So I have on the screen all tariffs and the proposed 148 tariff increment. Remember that the Deputy Minister was talking about some accumulated increase. So all tariff was 50 Ghana cedis with an increment of 148. You're going to be paying 124 Ghana cedis. All tariff of 100 Ghana cedis with the increment you pay 248. Old tariff attracted 150 cost. You pay 372 in the proposed percentage increase. That's a 148. 200 old tariff will increase to 496 with the increase, and then 250 old tariff will attract 620 with the proposed increase. 300 old tariff will attract 744 old tariff according to what you spend or you consume in your house as far as the tariffs are concerned. Also, the Deputy Minister also made it clear that there's going to be some review. So let's see how that will go after meetings have been held. Now, some Ghanaians also are angry over the proposals by the Electricity Company of Ghana and the Ghana Water Company to increase tariffs. According to them, any attempt to increase it astronomically will increase illegal connections in the country.
You know, there are already hardship in the country, so to add that tariff increase, the hardship will be more. So we will appeal to the government to do something about it. They should put hold on it for now, and then even we are not getting better services. We are not getting better services.
Because it seems like we are cleaning us slowly. They are cleaning us slowly. I don't think there's sense in it. They should rather think about what they are doing. Because I don't think if they are doing their service well, they can generate more income, and then the ECG can get money to do whatever they want to do. But because there's so lapses in the system, that's why all these things happen. They should try and solve those things.
It's going to, even if I get the chance, I'll do it. If only it will help me. I'll do the illegal connection. Because they are not telling us what they are using the money for. And today they will increase, tomorrow they will increase. So it's going to cost a lot of people. Already they have not increased. People are doing the illegal connection. So just imagine.
We are always like waiting for the final blow, the proposal, this and that, this and that, this and that. But it's about time the government, those who are in charge, not the government, because the government we are the government, but those who are in charge should come out with better proposal than bringing up this kind of percentage.
Already we have a number of illegal connections. Even those days that things were okay, people are doing illegal connections, and now that the increment is, so I'm sure it will increase. It will increase exponentially.
There you have it. You've heard from a section of Ghanaians saying, looking at the current economic hardship in the country, increasing tariff will be a burden. Also, some have called on government to intervene and also ensure that the electricity company and the water company give out good services. Also, some are saying that this will fuel illegal connection if it's increased. But on the other hand, that PURC is having an engagement with stakeholders to bring out a final solution to this issue. Alberta Bisiu, Metro News, Accra.
So the Chief Executive Officer of Consumer Protection Agency, Kofi Kapito, has joined us via Zoom for a conversation on the proposed increments by ECG and the Ghana Water Company Limited. Mr. Kapito, thank you for your time. You're welcome. Good afternoon to you. Hello, Kofi Kapito. Welcome to Newsbeat. Kindly unmute your mic. Your microphone is muted. Unmute it. Okay.
I can barely hear what you say.
Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay, good. So, first of all, how should we deal with the situation of the proposed increment of tariffs both in ECG and water? Why has this become so necessary for the ECG to do that?
Maybe it is time that they get some increment. 148%, I think it's a little bit over the board. There's a lot of things that the electricity company themselves can do on their own so that the revenue that they are coming to ask us to pay will be reduced. For example, if they are able to collect people who owe them, I'm talking about big money, like Ghana Airport, like the ministries, like private institutions, that is on record that they owe a lot and they haven't paid. That's the
news, ma. Be on call live today.
49
so I
million.
around English.
I spoke English.
Okay, I am having some interference on the line. I'm trying to have a conversation with Kofi Kapito, who is a Chief Executive Officer for the Consumer Protection Agency. Mr. Kapito, are you still on the line?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you now. I was having some. Yes, sir. I was having interference.
Why is it that anytime service. My question is, why can't they fix the issues confronting subscribers of the utilities? If I can get water on a regular basis, me to pay, I don't think I have a problem. If my light is not interrupted and you're asking me to pay, I don't think I will have a problem. The institutions themselves has an internal things that they need to deal with. So let them come. It's good that they say it's a proposal, and I'm glad that it's a proposal. It's not a final decision. So we meet them at the stakeholders meeting. We will point to them things they need to do as you and I speak. Annie, are you aware that some of the meters that is prepaid, when you go and buy, you cannot even get your lights back on? Meanwhile, they've taken your money. It's been going on for almost a week. Nobody's doing anything about it. Then you come to tell me, the consumer, that I should give you more money. It's only in Ghana that businesses will ask you, give me money before I can do a better job for you. In that jurisdictions, they go find the money, they fix the problem, then they come and ask you to give them more money.
So this morning, there was this message that came from Kojo Chumbuafi. He says that the electricity rates have already gone up 100% as at February, and add the service charges on meters that most prepaid ECG consumers don't even know about it. Do you know about this, and how did this work?
No, what happened was, I think early this year, the ECG came up with what is called their tariffs on the services that they provide. Is not the PRC tariff increase. Like polls, if you want polls, if you want meters, if you want some services from ECG, yes, it's true. They've been increased more than 100%. That is a fact, but it has nothing to do with what we are discussing. That was the services that they provide. That is what they gave to increase. So it's not the tariffs.
When you say the services that they provide, specifically what services?
You go to say you want meter. There's a fee that you pay. Okay, you want electricity pole. There's a fee paid. All those things are some of the things that they came to increase early this year, but it has nothing to do with the tariffs that is being discussed.
Do you think that the ECG or maybe the Ghana Water Company, both utility companies, need to raise revenue to fix the challenges within the system? Because you are saying that, well, they have to go for money elsewhere to fix it before they ask us to pay. Is it justifiable that they need money to fix this problem? And if they are not able to do it, how do we go about it?
Annie, that's a question. When Mr. Ejapong decided to buy Metro TV and fix Metro TV, he didn't go to tell them that, give me money because I want to build a TV station. No businesses ask people in advance that give me money before I can give you what you want. Rather, you, the business, you do what you're supposed to do, and then you say, because of what I have spent, this is how much I'm collecting. It makes a lot of sense. It's only in Ghana. This has been going on for too long. Anytime, pay before you get the services that you need. Pay before. This time, we are tired. Fix it. Pay.
But this is what also caused the government to go out for loans, because the money is not there. And if we need to fix something, we definitely have to use some money. It's either we go and borrow, or you pay, and then we can raise some revenue to fix it. Or?
No, I don't have to pay. Let's stop this thing. I have to pay. I don't have to pay. I have to pay for the services that I'm using. I don't have to invest in the business. Am I a shareholder? No, I'm not a shareholder. Do I get dividend when they make profit? No, you don't. So why are you asking me that? No, if they want to go and borrow money, I agree with them. Let them go and borrow money. After they borrow money and they fix it, they have the right to say that we are increasing it to this level because it costs us for us to go and get money from outside, from even Annie to come and do their job. Like I said, it's only in Ghana. Why are we always the consumers of utilities asked to pay for what the company needs? It's not about what I have used as an electricity person. That is not the issue. If it's to do with the fact that I have consumed energy and you're asking me to pay, it makes a lot of sense, Annie. There's no way that anybody should come and ask Ghanaians that pay before it gets better. Why?
Just finally, before you go, I know you speak for consumers, but consumers are threatening to engage in illegal connections should this increase actually come to pass. What do you have to tell them?
Annie, I will not advise anybody to do an illegality. If you go and do an illegal connection, the ECG and the Power B will come after you. They will send you to jail. Our advice, let us come together as consumers and say that we will not pay what they're asking us for until they give us better service. But for us to say we are going to do illegal connection, it is a legal thing. You cannot do it. I repeat, please do not do illegal connection. It's a crime. It goes against you and I. Why should we encourage somebody to go and do an illegal connection? Time even attached to it, apart from the fine. So, my people, let's come together. Let's find a better solution than saying that you're going to do illegal connection.
Thank you very much, Chief Executive Officer of the Consumer Protection Agency, Kofi Kapito. Now let's do some more stories. And leadership of the Trade Union Congress are in a crunch meeting with the Ghana Private Road Transport Union and the GRTCC. Now this meeting follows several agitations that greeted a supposed increase of 20% in the transport fares. Shadrach Odami Ajare is currently there at the venue and comes through with a live report. Shadrach, thank you for your time. Good afternoon to you. What can you tell us? How is a crunch meeting between these unions going?
Secretary for RTTC, he is part of you. Yes. So if he is part of you, how then do you come out to say that you have no
That is why,
is he not a driver too?
No. That is why I'm explaining to you that in GPR2 here, before they come out with something, they have to call all the members to sit down to discuss. This is what we are going to do. If it is okay, then all of the people will agree. But if you didn't call me, you didn't call your members, you didn't say anything to them, you come you yourself with your head, your experience, you write what you want to throw it in the media. So how can we agree for that? Even he didn't respect us. He didn't give respect to us. I was in Kumasi this morning. I came from Kumasi. I started the journey about 6:30 from Kumasi to come to Accra. Because GPR2, yesterday they called me in the evening that they want to see me today 11 o'clock. I said, okay. So I started the journey. I moved in the morning about 6:30. I came here 11 o'clock. You see, if they don't need me, they can call me. They know my useful and they know all together.
Elijah, not to cut you, but that is to say that what we saw in the press statement, that is saying that whatever move the GPRT is coming up with special reference to the 20% increase not being fair are false. We should not hold on to that. Is that what you are saying?
No, for me, what the GPRTU has brought, the 20% fair, is okay.
That is to say that we should not hold on to the press release that came out. I mean, suppose now that you are saying he did not consult you, the secretary did not consult you.
I want the price to go on. I want the price to go on, not to wait for somebody tomorrow or tomorrow next. No.
speak to the GPRT.
Because you see, let me tell you something. Before we try to get the minister, if the minister is right to meet us, why he didn't meet us for the past long time? We are calling him. He said, tomorrow I'm going to Takoradi, I'm going to this place. So we continue.
So you feel the minister has been evasive?
The minister, even I come to the office here, I say, chairman, let's go to the minister, to go and meet the minister. Then they say the minister is not there. So how long are we going to wait to buying this diesel, buying petrol, and then we go work, we come without any no profit?
Alhaji, let me get that from the GPRT chairman. Sure, you are a trustee. So are we going to see some review in the prices now that you are claiming you would want to meet the minister? Already you said you've tried several times to meet him, but it didn't work. So if you are to meet him now, is there a possibility that there's going to be a review in the price?
I don't expect so, because all what we can do is what we have said. So there's no way that you reverse again. There's no way. So what we have planned to do is what we have said. So that is all. That's all what my people have said. My chairman and my general secretary have said. So there's no way we can go back. That's all.
Okay, so, and he is a trustee. The communications director for the GPRT is here. Let me get his to Alhaji. Let me quickly. What really informed the 20% threshold? Now that we are convinced, or you have convinced us that this is what we are going to hold on to, what really went into you arriving at that 20% threshold?
The frequent or rampant increase in fuel prices, of which we are suffering out of that prompted us, or that brought us this far. Because normally we said if we get to the 10% threshold, we're expecting 8.80, and now we are over 11 cities. So this... And
which one is the over 11 cities?
Oh, the threshold was from 7.99. We were expecting 8.80 as the 10% threshold. And we are now in, that is a liter. And we are now 11 cities, almost 24 pesos a liter.
But that is diesel. Petrol has come to around 9.
We use diesel and petrol, and which one is higher, we use that to make our calculations. In real sense also, we use more diesel than petrol. So that is how the calculation is being made.
So you only use diesel and then petrol, excluding, I mean, in picking the threshold, you pick only...
We haven't include spare parts, we haven't include lubricants, we haven't include documentations as times, DVLA papers, etc., etc.
So that is to say that if you had added all those things, we would have seen a much more bigger figure than 20.
Than the 20%. That was why we said, and we keep saying, we came up with 20% religiously for everybody to say we have human feeling attached to the 20%.
You are saying even the 20% is to give us comfort.
Yes, that is what we are saying.
And already we are crying.
Well, then it isn't our fault. As we speak now, egg, a boiled egg, is no longer being sold at one city, 2 cities. Where do they seek their clarification before increasing, bullfruit? The way your jaw is here. Bullfruit is no longer being sold at one city. 2 cities and above.
If you are quantifying it, if we were to, you were to add all the spare parts and other things, if you are to really quantify, what percentage would we have been seeing now?
It wouldn't have been less than 30%, to be honest with you. That was why we said we've come up with religiously 20%. So we use human feeling attached to it. So this is how it is.
Is it possible to see a review of this percentage in the coming days?
Well, we don't believe in hearsay than the practical aspects. If there could be any way fuel prices could be reduced to about 8 cities, that would be quite significant, from 11 cities to 8 cities. Yes, of course, then we can immediately do something about it within this shortest possible time. But anything not reasonable, we are now 11 cities, 24, and you take the 4 pesos out, I don't think that could
I
make
think that one is insignificant.
really.
Well, my colleague Shadrach Odamejare interacting with officials of both unions or organizations. But let's still stay a little longer with the transport fares. And my colleague Abdul Basit Suleiman reports in the Ashanti region that fares are yet to be increased. He joins us via Zoom for more. Abdul, thank you for your time. Good afternoon to you. Paint a picture in the Ashanti region for us. What's going on there?
Transportation fares up.
Okay, so I don't have Bassett yet, but let me go to D Papa, who's in the Northern region. D Papa, can you hear me? Good afternoon to you. Hello, D Papa. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Annie.
Good afternoon to you. So what can you tell us?
Annie, I can hear you.
Right. What's going on in the Northern region now as far as the fares are concerned? Have you experienced it? Has it been increased or they're still deliberating?
According to the transport it is still in meetings to communicate to them as to whether they should increase it or not. But when we spoke to many of them, they complained bitterly that burning them up and government needs to do something about it. According to them, whenever there's increment of prices, they are not able to increase it to the directives because they are looking at the passengers, because many of the passengers out north here are poor people and they can't transfer all the charges or all the increments on them. But they complain that what government is doing to them. We spoke to one of the trustees of the Kumasi bus station, and he said if you load from Tamale to Kumasi or to Accra, you will come home without getting anything. Should you tie or whatever, what you get as cannot buy anything or cannot repair your vehicle. For that matter, government should do something or else they will start increasing the fare more than what we are seeing currently. But currently, nothing has changed in the northern region. The prices are still they used to be.
Okay, but the drivers are still standing by for the outcome of these meetings and then they will act accordingly, not so?
Exactly. They said they are going to implement it fully this time around because they are already making losses and they can't continue to lose.
Right. Have the passengers also, gotten the hints of the 20% increase or maybe more depending on the outcome? And how have they also responded to it?
Hello?
Yes, Bassett, I can hear
Hello?
you. Dibaba, yeah. Can you hear me?
Like I was saying, they said they used not to implement the increments fully, but this time around, they are not going to have mercy on anybody. They will ensure that whatever that comes out of the meeting of their leadership, they are going to implement it fully. They also call on government to ensure that they decrease the prices of fuel in the country because that is the cause of all what we are seeing currently in the country.
How about the passengers? Have they gotten a wind of it?
Yes, we spoke to some passengers within Tamale and they were very peeved. One of them even told us that what they are experiencing currently is time they start buying motorbikes for themselves, for that matter. That will ensure that they won't use public transport anymore. But the question is, what about those who are traveling from Tamale to Kumasi? What about those traveling from Tamale to Accra, Takoradi, and the rest of the places of the country? They cannot do that. For that matter, it's a very big challenge, and they are complaining because, according to some of the passengers, they even feel for the drivers. Because if you are buying 5 cedis per liter of fuel, and now you have to challenge you. So for that matter, if the prices are not changing, meaning that the drivers are always going to be running at loss. For that matter, they are not happy for the increment of the prices, but they are also feeling for the drivers or the transport operators.
Alhassan Dibo, thank you for that details there. We'll just be doing the regional tour and see how the transport fare increase proposals and those who have also increased.
Thank you so much.
How it's going. Thank you for your time. You're still watching Newsbeat here on Metro TV. We'll take a breather. Welcome back to Newsbeat on Metro TV. Now, the minority MPs on Parliament Health Committee have called on government to address the challenges in the National Health Insurance Scheme. Addressing the media ranking member on the committee, Kwamna Minta Akando, said though government has collected money for onward payment to service providers, it has failed to honor their claims for the smooth running of the scheme.
So on the revenue side, government is paying less and less for current claims on the fund. This investment is reducing closing balances to the extent that should there be any shock, the fund will find it very difficult to cover claims. Consequent to the reduction in balances, interest income has also reduced significantly from 21.7 in 2014 to 5.18 in 2020. This is a fund that is clearly on life support. Unfortunately, the mismanagement of the National Health Insurance Scheme is affecting the survival of health facilities that offer treatment to National Health Insurance card holders. As of the end of March 2022, service providers were owed over 2.5 billion due to non-payment of claims filed as far back as July 2021. If you consider the fact that we are experiencing a hyperinflationary period with much inflation year on year being reported to have inched closer to 20%, one wonders how service providers who are owed as far back last year are supposed to manage to keep their businesses afloat. Ghanaians are losing hope in the National Health Insurance Scheme, contrary to what Akufo-Addo government wants us to believe. The average use of the scheme, or average encounter per member per year, has reduced from 2.87 a year in 2016 to 2.75 times a year in 2021 due to several factors. The fact that most private service providers are not prepared to offer services to card holders. National health insurance cards are now reduced to being used for primary and basic services at most health facilities. This is clearly expressed in the average claim per member reducing from 97.70 in 2016 to 69.02 Ghana cedis in 2021.
Now, before business comes in, the review application by embattled Aston North Member of Parliament James Chachikwesen has been adjourned without an assigned reason by the Supreme Court. The MP, among other things, is seeking a review of the restraining orders that barred him from performing his parliamentary duties after the Apex Court ruled on a 5-2 majority decision on April 13. Now, though unhappy with the ruling of the court, James Chachikwesen, through his lawyers, have reviewed the application, which was expected to be heard today. But the registrar of the Apex Court adjourned the hearing to May 17, 2022. Well, it's time for us to hear from the business world, and the man in charge is Winston Taki, standing by. Winston, you're welcome. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Annie. Good afternoon. Up next is the latest update from the world of business. And now to a first business story. A research consultant with Imani Ghana says most public institutions are transacting businesses without approval from the Public Procurement Authority. Speaking on the Bottom Line program on Metro TV, Dennis Asari said this has resulted in several infractions, and there's more in the following report.
In the case of the Public Boards and Corporation, we see the same scenario. We were able to identify over 832 contracts, and out of that, more than half was transacted through open tender. But if you look at the financial value, you see that restricted tender is in the lead. We have the financial value of restricted tender contract is 2 times the financial value of open competitive tender. So it appears that most public institutions we have in this country are more likely to use single source and restricted tendering contracts for high financial value activities or transactions. One major challenge that we identified as part of this work is that most public institutions are not disclosing their procurement activity, because as citizens, civil society, and other demand-side accountability actors, we are supposed to know how public institutions are spending our monies. And once we know how they are spending our monies, then we can hold them accountable. The PPA, some transactions are happening at the blind side of the PPA.
And that is at the institutional level. So if the external scrutiny, that is the last leg of our PFM, is not enhanced to uncover most of these things, a lot of these things will happen without the approval, or the transactions, government will already be committed before the approval is sought. And when that happens, that is at the last stage. And that's why we've seen the case of contract breaches, or in the past, we used to record a lot of judgment debt, because people have already committed government to a transaction, but there may be no funds for government to undertake that.
Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority has disclosed that the electronic transfer levy, e-levy, is already raking in significant revenue for the country. Head of Project Unit at GRA, Isaac Kwabena Amoako, said collection from a single charging entity amounted to more than 1 million cedis in one day.
According to the Ghana Revenue Authority, the data deduced from the internal system, the application system containing invoices, showed that a number of charging entities and one of the charging entities, which own more than 70% of population, had in excess of 1 million Ghana cedis for just one day. He projected that, assuming all others are not paying and this entity alone sends 1 million Ghana cedis every day for 30 days, this means the Ghana Revenue Authority will be getting 30 million Ghana cedis per month from just one charging entity. E-levy is 1.5% on all electronic transfers. It was rolled out by Ghana Revenue Authority on May 1st, 2022, after the e-levy bill was passed by Parliament and subsequently assented to by President Akufo-Addo. The levy will apply to mobile money transfers done between accounts on the same electronic money issuer and mobile money transfers from an account on one electronic money issuer to a recipient on another electronic money issuer. Others are transfers from bank accounts to mobile money accounts and transfers from mobile money accounts to bank accounts. However, bank transfers on an instant pay digital platform or application originating from a bank account to an individual subject to a daily threshold will be determined by the Minister of Finance. The e-levy was introduced by government in the 2022 budget for basic transactions related to digital payments and electronic platform transactions. The rate would apply to electronic transactions that are more than 100 Ghana cedis daily. This is different from the percentage charged by some telecommunication companies on mobile money transfers.
Now let's bring you the latest update from the Forex and commodities market. That'll be all for business here on Newsbeat. My name is Winston Taki. We take a break. Phil John Quarter will bring you sports after this break. Stay tuned.
Good afternoon, and it's time for sports. My name is Phil John Quarter. The leadership of the Ghana Football Association has indicated that they're in the final stage of naming Otto as the coach of the Black Stars. Prosper Harrison Addo is the General Secretary of the football governing body here in Ghana.
It is no secret that every Ghanaian, and if I say every Ghanaian, I'm using that advisedly. I'm not saying that every single one of us, there's been a research and we've said that we want the collective unit of the coaching, the technical staff that qualified us to Qatar 2022 to lead the team. But once you find the number one person, and the majority of Ghanaians saying that we want to keep this unit together, the executive council and the ministry and everyone involved has worked to this point where we are very close to tie in every knot, and then we'll announce to Ghanaians that the work on that quest is completed. But as I speak to you, everything is very positive, and so the coaches are doing what they need to do, and the FA is also doing what the FA needs to do as we work out to June 1st when we play Madagascar at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium, and then we go to Central African Republic to play match day 2 in the 2023 AFCON qualifiers, and then from there we would go to we'll continue with our preparation towards the World Cup in playing the 4-nation tournament in Japan.
That's your sports. My name is Feo John Quarty. Desi standing by for the latest in showbiz.
Yes, Phil. Up next is Intimate News. I am Desmond Okrekodance, now in entertainment. CEO of 3 Music Networks, Sadiq Abdullahi, has bemoaned the effect of the e-levy on the creative arts industry. Now, speaking exclusively to Metro News, Sadiq stated how burdened stakeholders will be with this policy in place.
The entertainment industry is one of the industries that have already and fully adapted to, digital. Within the last 2 to 3 years, most of the critical events that have been organized in the town sold their ticket by digital. And so actually about 80 or 90%, unlike before where you used to have a few ticket outlets and sell, now people like to buy them from the convenience of their homes. Again, from last year getting into this year, we observed a worrying trend where between January to November, all these critical events experienced low ticket or negative ticket sales. Low ticket sales. It's gradually becoming clear that December seems to be about the only months where events promoters and producers will see some positive ticket sales, also owing to the fact that it's a holiday makers period and a lot of people coming into the country as well. And so this already is a point of worry.
Sadiq also stated that if nothing is done about it, they'll be forced to pass on the charges onto consumers.
Well, if you are having to absorb that particular tax element and not pass it on to the consumer, obviously it's going to affect you because you're having to absorb it and give it to the government. Already, you're experiencing between January to November almost negative ticket sales or, low ticket sales. So it would mean one thing, that one of your revenue lines would be gone for good. And the ticket sales is one of the critical revenue lines for events beyond commercial partnerships. And there are other reasons that's also already impacting commercial partnerships. And so, as much as it remains to be seen, there are a lot of people that have made the observation, but as it is in the country, when you voice this out, it creates a lot of, but it needs to be pointed out.
Now, it is a night to award-deserving artists who have worked hard the year under review. And one thing that never misses out on the red carpet is the outfits that are worn by celebrities. We're taking a look at some of the outfits that were worn by celebrities at the just-ended VGMAs. And that's it for entertainment. My name is Desmond Okrekidas. Back to Annie for the rest of the bulletin.
Really excited. I think congratulations to Kitty. He's done amazing. I think it's one guy who has attracted less or nothing, no criticism at all after winning this award. Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you for the update in the entertainment. Well, now let's go on to the international front for updates. Now, on the international front, the overnight violence in Sri Lanka capped a day of unrest that saw Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa quit, but he's failed to bring calm. Crowds besieged his residence and he was evacuated in a pre-dawn operation amid tear gas and warning shots. Protests are continuing despite a curfew. 7 people have died and 200 have been injured since Monday. The island-wide curfew has been extended to Wednesday morning as authorities seek to quell the violence. Officials say a senior policeman is receiving hospital treatment after being assaulted by 2 men in Colombo, who accused him of failing to prevent the attacks on anti-government protesters. More than 50 houses of the politicians were burnt overnight, reports say. Crowds remain outside the office of the president at Gotabaya, brother of Mahinda, calling on him to quit. And that's what we have for you this afternoon. Newsbeat came to you live from the Akua Boahema studio at North Ridge. We definitely will come back to you at 4 with the news flash and at 7 with News Tonight. I am Ania Fompo. Thank you for being with us.